collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald.
What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah. Book 1, The Awakening.
Sunset and that song sung by who was that?
Don Henley.
Who?
Don Henley. I can answer for $5.
$5.
No, seriously, for $5. You don't understand offer and acceptance? In order to stay in honor, you must either accept or conditionally accept. When the cop asks you for a driver license, you say yes or yes conditionally. For example, okay officer, I will give you my driver license for $500. Deal? Now he accepted. Conditionally, the counter officer, you either accept or walk away. Very interesting. I did not know that. Did you know that, honey?
No, I did not.
I once saw a ghost walk right through my kitchen. Yes, sir, it was the same ghost that was giving our son night terrors. Right, honey?
Yep. Woke me up in the middle of the night, 2 inches from my face. I shit the bed.
Oh, God, that's right. He shit the bed.
Had you ever used that laugh before?
No.
You just made it up?
Just made it up on the spot.
On the spot?
On the spot.
It was classic. We watched that footage like 10 times when we got home. And we were laughing. It was funny.
I'm glad you liked it.
I did. I loved it.
She did good. She made me laugh.
Yeah, yeah. She made us all laugh.
This girl's my best friend.
Get it on.
California.
Really? Burbank?
Yeah.
You were born in Burbank?
Yeah.
So you're like one of them privileged kids? Yeah.
Yes and no.
And you're an actor?
Huh? Yes.
And you're here. What are you doing right now at this moment here?
Here for Ashley's 21st birthday.
Yeah, cool. How'd you meet Ashley?
Through my job.
Your job?
Yeah, we both work at Crave Cafe.
Where?
Crave Cafe.
Oh, cool. Where is that?
On Ventura and Van Nuys.
Ventura and Van Nuys?
Yeah.
Oh, I know where that is. That's right around the corner from here.
Yep, yep.
And you're an actor, right?
Yes.
So, what kind of types of actor do you play?
More serious type. I could turn on an angry emotion like nothing. What else? I could do comedic, but I could do comedic when I try not to be funny. I'm more funny when I try not to be funny.
I think that's how most of us are. You say some shit that is normal for you, and they're like, "Dude, you're so funny." You're
Exactly.
like, "What? I just said some shit."
And then when I try to be
They're like,
funny,
"That's funny too."
and then when I try to be funny, everybody just looks at me like,
Yeah, that's not funny, dude. Yeah, I get that too. I guess that's why they say the best way to be is to not try, not act, just react.
acting's reacting.
And now, go give Ashley a big hug and kiss for her birthday. Go ahead, kiddo. I'll
Give her a hug.
Yeah. Everybody else is doing it. And now a kiss on the cheek. All right. He's late. Oh, you're leaving?
I actually am leaving.
All right, kid. Nice meeting you.
It's good meeting you too.
I'll talk to you again.
All right.
Come on. I'll get all your give your info to Ash.
Yeah, she has it all.
All right. I might need people. I'm gonna get more people in this, so it's gonna be good.
Sounds good.
All right. Nice meeting you.
It's good meeting you too.
Happy New Year. What? What?
The IDs. Trying to find the woman that has a lot of meat in this act.
Meaty bone.
Oh man, I'm gonna get you with so much back. You're gonna be like, I gotta put it in the refrigerator for tomorrow.
All right. So you just bought her a shot for her birthday, kid? Good job. Way to go. That'll get you a point. What kind of shot was it? What? Oh, did you do it yet already?
Yeah.
And you got another shot coming.
I know. I put the school on, took it, and took the line.
Are you a little drunk yet?
No. Yeah. That's what we talk about. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
He's having a good time. This is a cool place. So where are we?
Saddle Ranch, West Hollywood. Yeah.
What's today's date?
It's the 11th of January, 2014.
Oh, you're like a 111111114.
Yeah.
January 11th. Wow, 111. Wow. What did you think about 9/11? Were you glad that you were born on 1/11 instead of 9/11?
Definitely.
Good for you.
I know. 9/11 was a hard time.
All right. So anyway, so you got another shot coming.
I do.
How you feeling? Are you drunk yet?
No, I was before when I ride the bull, but now it's wearing off a bit.
What time were you born? Do you know?
5:30.
AM or PM?
Yeah.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Oh yeah. So you turned 21 about a 4 hours ago. All right, so you're really 21.
I am.
But like 6 or 7 hours ago, you really weren't 21. Thank you.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Yummy! Was that good?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. She just did her shot.
It tastes like birthday cake.
Oh, really?
the human race will die.
Oh, really?
The first commandment is to maintain a global population under 500 million. Do you know what that means? It means 6.5 billion people are going to die at the hands of the Illuminati unless we stop the Iranians from detonating that dirty nuclear bomb at the Hollywood and Vine train station. The Iranian suicide bomber cell is located at the Vibe Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard.
This isn't Scooby-Doo.
turned your stomach?
Guide them through the bomb. What is this? Fucking Batman and Robin?
I had become part of something that I no longer felt right about serving.
It's Hollywood and Vine, not Vine Hollywood. Don't you know anything about American culture? You silly Russian.
The global military-industrial complex.
Leading the charge of the carnal feminine.
Ah, yes. The Messiah.
My book. It's the solution.
How is that the way the world is?
Traitor, who are you working for?
If I was cartoon character, I'd be Woody Woodpecker.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From the Gulf Stream waters to the New York Island, this land was made for you and me.
That he's gonna have,
Super Bowl cases.
just fill it in. That he's gonna have wires on his casing here, some work gloves, some pliers. Yeah, right now, this is how I'm gonna dress this. I'm gonna dress right now. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm thinking maybe I should take all that stuff off of the shelf.
I was a rookie. And this guy chased this guy all the way up to the top of the flat. Got me. Threw him right over. Whatever prick, I had to chase you all the way.
We're not gonna see that.
I was gonna say that.
That angle coming down.
Does it matter?
No, I'm just saying, you're not gonna see it. Detail, camera's gonna be like,
It's not gonna matter.
you're not gonna be like, like this.
You said something.
It's gonna be fucking, your movie's gonna be like,
Blue line.
camera's gonna be moving like that.
So do I even need to worry about this?
It's not like that, I think it's just like that, but it's still there.
I mean, you're gonna move some stuff, you're gonna take it off. That's it.
Flip it over.
I mean, you can even just, the desk.
And you listen.
Oh, flip it over.
Yeah, that movie was particularly.
Well, this chair is gonna be right here too, in front of the desk, blocking. It's gonna be here, I can take that. I have this big silver thing and some wires, like with hot or whatever.
You know,
I'll just clean it up a little
The
bit.
guy who did, here you go, you wanna see a movie?
Leave it all right.
So,
I can leave that there too.
into watch.
I heard it, I don't
What
know.
about the
Okay,
speakers?
the writer training day
I
decided
think
to
we're gonna see it.
You did that to watch. You did it with like these little cameras and stuff.
Lighting, what kind of lights do you have? Fluorescent lights?
Yeah, set those up.
Oh, there's the extra scar, yeah.
Very similar.
We can put them right here.
You get training day and they're actually now cops
In Casey.
versus training, whatever. And so, Jake Gyllenhaal and this Michael Pena. And they,
Good man. Look at that.
real cop life. And actually a cop came over, some cops at
I go the opposite.
Starbucks.
People go like this.
Yeah, you know, you want some real shit, you know, cop what? No, cop what?
Oh, you want him to play somewhere else?
Southland.
No way. No way.
Like that's, you wanna, you know, real copying in, and stuff like that. That's the one.
Wait, sir. Who are you?
Which is, and obviously you lived it, where, you know, you're just trying to keep peace, and there's crazy fuckers doing crazy shit. You find a body in the woods, or a dead body in the house, and you wonder what the fuck's happened here, you know.
What are they talking about?
And realistic cop movies.
Oh.
So like End of Watch has been approved by the LAPD, so this is where we live. And also Southland, the short-lived series, 2 seasons or whatever.
Oh, wow.
That was very accurate apparently. Pretty much what they go through every day.
Bless you.
They find a body in the alley in East LA and shit, and they have to do a little investigation. They find it's hooked to this one guy, and then, you know. And it's very much, you know.
You seen in your career, seen a lot of things?
You see a lot of shit.
You see the shit
That's the acronym cop stands for, hands on patrol.
probably
A lot of dirty cops, man, I'll tell you, oh yeah.
Probably in Boston, I don't know if they, no, LA was gotta be weirder to be a cop, I would think.
Boston, very corrupt during the Whitey Bulge time.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you saw the movie The Department, they took state police and made them corrupt. It was actually, he had more insight on
Into
the
the
Boston
Boston police,
police.
right?
And they used
and they used state trooper to go undercover because his family was dirty. So they said, you want to be a trooper, you're going to have to do it our way. And they put him in the prison system to turn around and try to expose. But also, Whitey had the FBI protection, so he's always one step ahead of everybody. The FBI would always inform him.
Yeah. Remember they were going to take him to court, and he killed the guy, one of his witnesses recently. It was like, who was going to testify against him? I think it was.
Yeah, they said he died natural causes, but he was poisoned.
Yeah. So it's still going on.
Well, yeah, he got convicted. But what was funny was the guys he ratted out, I guess, I forget the guy's name, he's on the stand, and they read Boston Court.
And I got to vacuum this
White Bulger, man. He's on the stand, why he did, and he's like, yeah, fuck you, fucking judge, like, order a car. It was like a better cable TV.
There should be another movie. There should be another movie.
And then his brother, his son, his mom, because for him, he was the Senate. I mean, why do you get
they'll be outside? Okay.
My friend was, his dad was like.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sit up in here though, and then I'll walk
The
around.
funny part about his service was that he.
Okay.
So, because all the actions right here, you're not want to
They
see
would put
what's
him in a
like.
car, dress him up like Gotti, and they would put him in a car in the opposite Don's.
I'm happy, man. Remember that you great job.
Thank you, no.
And they
You're
called
welcome,
him
you know.
to get Don.
Johnny was like, dude, just tell me what you want.
Too clean.
We'll work it all out, and put it together, and
So this guy, dead ringer for Gotti, dressed him up in the hair and shit, you know, put him in tight clothes with a nice
help him
little.
just get the right shots for
certain areas to
and
act.
make it look good. So you can pre-edit it in your head and see what's working. And you know what I want, what's working good.
Oh, I see. All
She
those
was
years
John
of
and his
people yelling at
boyfriend
me. Like,
before Yoko Ono.
give me the wrong shot.
And
Yeah.
next time, let's keep the subject. Everybody's an uncle. Tony Provenzano.
We're only gonna do
in the inside stuff. Killing,
I think, yeah, we're gonna do,
I went in, my daughter went in.
I was thinking about it, there's an establishing shot where she comes up against the blonde.
And we had none of that.
You could get up close on
And she was
that.
getting free funding from the.
Right, you were very tight shot because I like this blind.
So she was gonna pilot it full
And
seal.
boom, she goes up against it, we see it from here, and then also see that.
Funding back, so she.
Yes, he-
Some kind of tight establishing shot where you transition from this to the other side maybe or something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With the, hey, the GoPro, right here.
You know, the one thing, being a cop,
How do you think?
being a cop.
Let's put it up.
Yeah, we will, we will. I get looked
That's
at.
the thing. This is the good thing about, you know,
And you're introvert
it's
friendly.
for those places you cannot get into.
I always get the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the man.
In fact, look at, because we can tripod it right,
You actually put your.
right
You
here
can tape it.
in this broken thing, and she can even hit.
Well, you know, I came out to California, I'm French and
Well, we just put something behind
raised in London. Came out here, I'm actually Mexican.
She can actually just slow it down.
Get around, you know.
Yeah, I go down to Miami. Like when I was young. I go to.
What else want to talk about?
Italian. You know what I mean? That's not a shame. I'm Italian.
You're in DC, you're Italian.
The day.
Guinea pig, you know what I mean? Yeah, for a second one.
Oh, that's right, I'm bringing the lights in.
You may help me.
I'm bringing the lights, no, I got them right here.
On and Barnes & Noble is Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
I did radio for a long time. Before I tell you a little story of how long I've known Motley Crue and our sort of sordid past, you know, this is a band that has done so many things first and done so many things to, you know, control their image and put out a certain message. And if you think about the history of music, you know, this is a band that really has never compromised and done things their own way on so many levels. You know, they've created some of the most talked about tours as far as production goes in history. They've sold over 80 million records worldwide. They've done sold out shows all over the world, 5 continents for over 30 years. And of course, they've extended their brand into TV, books, and we'll talk about movies and a bunch of other stuff here. We got a lot of great guests here. But the band is embarking upon not a farewell tour. You know, farewell tours are something that in this business we've come to kind of take for granted, and then the band comes back the next year. This is it, folks. It's over after this. This is the final tour, and we actually have the band's attorney here, which, by the way, you should get danger pay if you're the band's attorney, to tell us the how and why on that. But there's going to be 72 shows before all is said and done. You're going to get a press release when you leave here, so you'll have all the details. But 2014 in the US and Canada, 72 shows. The fan club pre-sale and VIP pre-sale goes on sale tomorrow, Wednesday, January 29th. So the VIP and fan club is tomorrow. The general public on sale is Friday, the 31st. And some shows will go on sale on Saturday again. And if you want details, you can go to motley.com, and that's where this press conference is actually streaming right now. But something else that I want to mention, I find it funny when you look at all the things Motley Crue has done, and when you think of Sunset Strip in that era, and I was talking to Scott Borchetta about this from Big Machine, who's been a very successful record company, a producer, manager, he's done everything, this guy, and we're talking about that era. There's one band that defines that era. We both agreed on that, and that band is Motley Crue. And I just find it staggering that Motley Crue not only isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they haven't even been nominated, which to me speaks volumes about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on some levels. So we're going to talk to a bunch of different people, some special guests. We'll bring out Alice Cooper in a little bit as well, who is on the tour. I mean, you want to talk about a great package, Motley Crue and Alice Cooper together. Alice kind of invented it, and Motley Crue shot it up with steroids and a bunch of other things that we can't talk about. But we'll talk to Alice in a little bit. But I'm going to introduce our esteemed panel here. And we're going to talk to Rick Franks, who's the president of Live Nation. We're going to talk to Doug Mark, the band's attorney. And we're going to talk to, and tell me if I pronounce the name correctly, Randy Ortiz. Yep. Just like the UFC guy. Exactly. And Randy's from Dodge, who have a pretty good partnership with the band, and they've been very happy. We'll talk a little bit about that and maybe hear about the Dodge brothers, who were kind of the forerunners to Motley Crue in the early 1900s. Scott Borchetta, of course, from Big Machine, and a gentleman who's tasked with doing something that I don't know how easy this is going to do. He's going to bring the book, The Dirt, to life. It's going to be made into a movie, as many of you have heard, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But first off, we'll talk to Rick Franks from Live Nation, who I actually work with, and Rick has worked with the band for a long period of time. And at the end of this, we'll take questions for these guys. And then we'll of course have Alice Cooper come up, and the band will be here shortly. But Rick, first off, tell us about the relationship with Motley Crue and what they're about to embark upon.
Well, you never quite anticipate an ending, and it was kind of sad, but a little melancholy, all the above. But the last time out, after 30 years of debauchery and mayhem, the final tour ever, it seems like there's going to be a lot of interest for that. We bailed them out of jail. We've talked them out of jail. There were many times we felt safer if we had them in jail. It's just been a long, crazy trip. We've had tremendous privilege in working with this band. Motley Crue are total pros, show up, just give it all every time. They've had, some ebb and flow to their career. They've been counted out a couple different times, only to build a tremendous resume of success. Great live songs, a ton of hits, just crazy stage shows. I mean, if you haven't seen one in the last 10 years, you're doing yourself a disservice. Just fire, explosions, roller coasters. I mean, you can't make some of this stuff up. I don't know how they think it up. It's totally nuts. 10th Street, they put together a pretty good cast of partners, big strong team for this tour. Kind of look at it as a 2014 version of Murderer's Row. We got a lot of stuff going on in this one. Old Black Ice. Okay, we got the Coop coming out with us on every gig. The original Godfather, bringing his guillotine. Alice, welcome. Thank you for being part of this. Look forward to hearing you talk. The show, as nutty as ever, as cool as ever, 3 hours plus of sensory overload. 60 of the shows are going on sale this weekend. We wanted to be as inclusive as we can to all the fans. So on 60 or 62 of them, we have tickets priced as low as $20. We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to be in there. And then in another dozen or so of those, we actually started at $15. So we want everybody to be there. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Last time ever. Mothers, bring your daughters.
Or hide them.
Dad, bring Junior. A final tour like nothing else. We're just very proud to be part of the whole thing. Jojo, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Rick. And before we get to the band's lawyer, Doug, really quick story. When I was 19 years old, this is like a long time ago, Motley Crue were on tour, and they were the baddest, biggest band in the world. And they came to my radio station in Toronto, and my radio name is Joey Vendetta, and I was 19 years old, 20 years old. I did the metal show. And Nikki and Tommy came up on the air. If you've ever read the book, The Heroin Diaries, the sequence is actually in there. And they came up and they walk into the studio, and like a lot of people in here from that era, had hair down to my ass, and I was actually a little bit younger than them, I think. And Nikki and Tommy walked in, and they'd just been at a club downstairs, and Tommy was married to Heather at the time, and somebody dissed Heather, and Tommy punched the guy out. And then, of course, they came upstairs and did the interview with me. Well, they brought some substances, some alcohol, and I'm 20 years old, like the biggest radio station in Canada, 100,000 watts, and I'm pumped to have Motley Crue on. Nikki walks in, and they look at me, and they're like, dude, where's the DJ? And I'm like, I'm the DJ. They're like, you're younger than us. How are you the DJ? And I'm like, well, I'm the DJ. They hand me a bottle of Jack Daniels. I chug half the bottle before I'm supposed to go back on the air. I am smashed. And Nikki kind of looks at me, and he feels bad for me, and he hands me something. I take it, of course. And 30 seconds later, I am rocket fuel. For the next 2 hours, it's on. No commercials. We're swearing on the air, putting callers on the air live. Make a long story short, 6 months later, they come back. Tommy comes into the radio station, walks off the elevator, sees me, and he goes, dude, you're still here? I said, yeah, I actually got promoted. So I have a pretty long sordid history with Motley Crue. And speaking of sordid and histories, we're going to talk to their attorney now. Doug, this is something I've never heard of it happening before. I've never heard of a band doing what Motley Crue are about to do today. They're going to do it here on this stage, if I'm not mistaken. Can you speak to that? What we're here for, in addition to announcing the tour?
Well, I haven't been punched out yet myself, but at one time or another, they've all threatened me. So, including during this process. A couple years ago, the guys, somewhere around their 30th anniversary, they did Sunset Strip Music Festival. The guys were thinking that the end will be nigh. That at some point, you've got 4 unique personalities who are all recognizing that these 4 unique personalities as a touring rock and roll entity were going to hang it up at the top of their game. The day came within the next couple years where they continued to say that. They don't agree on much. And they said, we all agree that we're going to hang it up. We want to do it in a manner, we've seen too many diluted trademarks and brands over the years, playing the wrong rooms with the wrong...
How you fellas feeling?
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds like nothing's changed, right?
I feel like Mick.
Is Mick now a synonym for dead Mick? I feel like Mick.
What?
Let's start off. Let's talk to Vince first off. Tell me, we were talking before you guys got here. So many bands use the word farewell, and farewell's kind of like so long. I might come back.
Yeah.
Right. You guys are going to do something here that I've never heard anybody do. You're gonna sign a document. This is the final tour. Tell us about, we'll start with Nikki and Vince. Tell us about the final and the idea and how this happened. Like, who started it?
Well, I mean, we started talking about it a few years ago, and we don't want to be one of those bands that maybe have one guy left in it or somebody's brother or something like that. We want to go out with the 4 founding members of Motley Crue and go out on top, and leave a legacy of a band called Motley Crue.
Nikki, saw it?
I mean, for us, we're really proud of our band. We started this band, no one believed in us. No record company would sign us. We figured out, none of us graduated high school, but we figured out how to form a record company, which is kind of funny. And we then figured out how to distribute that record, and none of the record companies believed us in Los Angeles, and we sold 40,000 copies of that first record, Too Fast for Love, and that launched our career. And we since then have always been just very proactive about everything we do, including the end of our career. We said, like Vince said, we started talking about, how do we want to go out? We don't want to hobble off into the sunset. And Tommy said it best recently when he said a farewell tour is when a band does a farewell tour and then gets back together and does another farewell tour and then breaks up and gets back together until there's no milk left in the titty and it's a rip-off to the fans. And so we decided to call this a final tour and sign a contract telling you that this is real, because we want to be proud of Motley Crue. We want our fans to be proud of Motley Crue for decades to come.
And you're talking about the fans, and I'll address this with Tommy. You guys have always been a band of the people on so many levels, and had an affinity with your fans, like a lot of other artists do. But it seems like there's more of a bond there. Talk about, Tommy, how important it is for you guys to be inclusive. I was talking about the ticket price. There's gonna be tickets for $15, $20. How important has it been to always make sure that every type of Motley Crue fan has access and the ability to come and see this band over the years?
Well, it's always been important to us. I mean, we take a lot of pride in everything from, the production, involving fans in the show. I think it's just been something that we've always taken a lot of pride in.
And Mick, you guys have done so many unique things over the years. You've controlled your own image, TV shows, books. Did you ever think when Motley Crue started, Mick, that you guys would accomplish all this? Nikki talks about, putting out your own record and selling 40,000 copies, and record companies wouldn't even talk to you. But did you ever think you would accomplish all the things that you guys have accomplished, Mick?
I would say, for myself, we had every intention of doing and accomplishing everything that we did. We did it. We're now announcing our final tour. We've been here, we've done that. We love each other like brothers, and it's let's go out on top instead of waiting for, another farewell, like that kind of stuff. It's time for us to throw the towel in, so to speak.
Nikki, why go out now when you guys are still, like, bands, as limped to the finish line on so many occasions, and milk that cow for as long as they can? Why go out now? I mean, you guys are young, you still look great, you could do this for a long period of time. Why pick this tour?
It's a good question, and something that we've talked about amongst ourselves for, like Vince said, the last few years. It's because of that. It's because we are on top. It's because we are, holding it together, and we're playing better and sounding better. We want to leave a legacy. We want to have some dignity. We feel that there's a lot of bands out there that don't have dignity. We started this band because it's something we believed in, rock and roll. We want to call it a day, and like I said, be proud. It's pretty embarrassing what's happening in the state of music with bands out there. There's, I don't want to name names because I just don't think it's really my place, but there's so many bands out there that just, they're ripping you off. And we're not going to do that.
We're going to take some questions in just a second, but before we take those questions, you're going to do something after this. The tour 2014, when the tour is over, however long it goes, the next couple of years, you guys all have side interests. You're businessmen. You write books. You do all. You're creative. You're DJs. You're session musicians. You do all kinds of stuff. But Vince, tell us, what are your plans for when the tour ends? What are you going to do?
Well, I've been in the restaurant business for a long time, and so just continuing that, and also music. I'll never stop singing on stage, and kind of carry that Motley banner, with me with all the concerts that I go to, that I perform at. So looking forward, to just, I'm not ready to kind of stop. I have to have music in me, so I'll be continuing that.
Nikki, what about yourself?
I have a side project, 6 a.m. That's something I'm very passionate about. I'm going to keep doing that. I have a radio show that I do, working on a Broadway play, continue to make music. You know, I think all four of us are extremely creative guys, so it's exciting for me. I support my brothers and what they do outside of Motley Crue, so it's going to be cool to watch everybody doing their own thing as well.
Tommy, yourself?
I've got some big surprises that I can't talk about at the moment, but just know that there's things.
And they'll always be interesting and entertaining. And Mick, what about yourself?
I just recently moved to Nashville, so I got lots and lots of musicians to work with.